You are charged with the heavy responsibility to ensure a solid education. You have not been charged to assign medical interventions. You took an oath of office to uphold the Ohio and the U.S. Constitution. If you mandate masks, you will violate our unalienable rights and the Fourth Amendment. And if you do so, I will serve you an affidavit and begin the process to have you removed from your office for disobeying your oath. The truth is, COVID is a limited risk to our kids. 4.2 million tested positive, with 0.008% having died. Yes, even one child's death is too many. However, we don't penalize and cripple a culture and our children because of what ifs. The CDC reports 480 children died of the flu in the 2018 season. That's more than the number who have died from COVID in a year and a half. We didn't require masks then. As a mental health professional, I witnessed the impact of forcing masks on children. It's simply child abuse. Forcing our children to mask in fear of a virus that actually has little consequences is similar to Munchausen by proxy. Forced masking fills them with the fear of the air, the fear of other people, the fear of their bodies, and it teaches they have absolutely no power over themselves. They can't hear enunciations, they feel confused and isolated, and then they work hard to appease the fear they see in their parents, and they stuff it all. Anxiety and depression is rampant. Physically, they experience headaches, dizziness, trouble concentrating, depression, and acne from wearing a mask. A mask mandate is a cowardly action. It makes you feel better, and it protects yourself politically. An Ashland, Ohio county judge ruled that the director of the Ohio Department of Health has no authority to issue or enforce mandatory mask orders. Even Dr. Fauci documented in emails that masks don't work. I quote, on February 5th, 2020, he said to Silvio Burwell, masks are really for infected people to prevent them from spreading infection to people who are not infected, rather than protecting uninfected people from acquiring infection. He says the typical mask you buy in the drugstore is not really effective in keeping out virus, which is small enough to pass through the material. End
30
quote.
seconds.
You have the authority to correct this debacle. You do not have to follow CDC, State Board of Health, or State Board of Education. None of them have any legislative authority to impose any law. Do the right thing and do not mandate masks. Oh yeah, and our experts, they said, it doesn't spread from person to person. Then they said it does. They said you don't have to wear a mask. And 14 days later, to flatten the curve, then they say you do need to wear a mask.
3 minutes.
Then they said it's only carried in droplets. Then they said it's airborne. Then they said Walmart and Home Depot are okay, but churches not. Then they said it won't spread during protests. Oh, but it'll spread during rallies. Then they said if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. Then they said if you're vaccinated, you won't spread COVID. Then they said vaccinated people can catch, but we're not counting those.
3 minutes.
And then they said you have to wear a mask again because you can spread it.
Excuse me.
What they are going to say tomorrow,
excuse me, you reached your
let's
3
draw
minutes.
the line.